finds a decent chunk of... And he's going to be taken down here. Back across midfield, 3 yards away from midfield at the 47.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Back now in Houston. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Let's go!
Now Osweiler on first down. That is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's up. Now the ball's out. Osweiler lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now they face a 3rd down after the fumble on 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Detroit! Detroit! Gone! Back in Philly, here we go.
Here's Osweiler to throw. He finds his target, Fuller. A gain of 20 on the 3rd down conversion. And let's discuss Osweiler a little bit further. Obviously, interesting.
Charged.
Journey for him to get here to Houston.
Groomed in Denver and actually got to play some before he ended up making his departure to Houston. But after the Broncos won the Super Bowl, I think he was in search of his own team and his own destiny as maybe a Super Bowl quarterback. They gave him a great opportunity, and he took advantage of it and headed to be a Texan.
A very solid gain of 27. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Flushed out right. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. They come out here in the eye. 2nd and goal from the 1. And they'll give Miller another crack. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. From the 3-yard line once more. Now here's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. On now in a big spot in this ball game is the kicker, Nick Novak. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And we are all tied here in the final stages. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. 2nd down now after the incompletion. Aiken, the man in motion. Pressure mounting. Flacco. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Ten yards to go on 3rd. Setting to throw. Flacco. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howell. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do they do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They come out here in the eye. They keep it on the ground. This time, it's Miller. And he might have got this. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Now it's Osweiler. And some space here. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, timeout on their side here. In fact, a lot going against them. They do have a small glimmer of hope.
No one likes to play extra football. They want to go for the win right now.
Now Osweiler. Pass incomplete. Throwing now is Osweiler. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Fresh set of downs here. Miller, the lone setback.
Now let's go. Move, Ned. 57. Go. Over. Here we go. Back in. Here we go.
Osweiler to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. So the fumble recovery, now Flacco to throw. Finding time. He's going to take another shot here. And this one is incomplete. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go.
Can't find anyone, and down he goes. Osweiler sacked. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Osweiler. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Miller. They find some open field here. Lamar Miller. 30. 10. 5. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in PAT. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
All defeats are tough.